The night was darker than usual, rain pounding against the windshield as Luke drove his old pickup truck down the deserted country road. His wipers fought a losing battle, streaking muddy water across the glass. He was on his way home from the late shift at the mechanic's shop, exhaustion weighing down his eyes. All he wanted was a hot shower and a few hours of sleep before getting his 7-year-old son, Noah, ready for school. Then, something darted across the road. He slammed on the brakes, tires screeching. For a heartbeat, the world froze. Luke jumped out, heart pounding, and there she was, standing in the rain, drenched and shivering, a little girl, no older than 5, barefoot, her thin dress clinging to her tiny frame. She looked up at him with wide, frightened eyes. "Please, don't hurt me," she whispered. Luke dropped to his knees. Hey, it's okay. I'm not gonna hurt you. Are you lost?" She nodded, trembling. I can't find my mommy." Luke scanned the empty road. No cars, no houses nearby, just the forest stretching on both sides. Something was terribly wrong. He wrapped her in his jacket and carried her to the truck. "You're safe now, sweetheart. I'll help you find your mom, okay?" "Okay," she whispered, clutching his shirt. At home, Noah's sleepy eyes widened as Luke brought the girl inside. "Dad, who's that?" Luke knelt beside her. "This is Emma. She's lost. We're gonna keep her warm and safe tonight." Noah smiled shyly and handed her his blanket. "You can have mine." Luke's chest tightened. That was his boy, kind, gentle, always giving even when they had little. Ever since Noah's mom left them 3 years ago, it had been just the two of them, scraping by but holding on. After Emma fell asleep on the couch, Luke called the sheriff's office to report her found. They promised to check for missing persons and send someone by in the morning. That night, Luke couldn't sleep. Something about the girl tugged at him, the fear in her eyes, the way she flinched at every sound. Whoever she'd run from, it wasn't just a case of getting lost. By morning, the storm had cleared. The sheriff arrived, took notes, and promised to investigate. But as the days passed, no one came forward. No missing child matched Emma's description. Luke could have handed her over to child services, but every time he looked into her big brown eyes, he couldn't bring himself to do it. Emma clung to him and Noah like she'd finally found a family. Weeks turned into months. Luke took on extra shifts to support 3 mouths instead of 2. They lived simply, pancakes on Sunday mornings, cartoons before bed, long walks in the park. Emma started calling him, Daddy Luke. And every time she did, he felt his heart crack and heal at the same time. Still, there were questions. Who were her parents? Why had no one come for her? One evening, as Luke tucked her into bed, Emma said something that chilled him. "My mommy told me, if I ever got lost, don't trust the bad men in suits." Luke frowned. "Bad men?" She nodded sleepily. "They took mommy away in a big black car. I ran and hid." His gut twisted. Whoever her mother was, she might be in serious trouble. A year passed. Life slowly found a rhythm. Luke officially became Emma's foster guardian while the search continued. She thrived, laughing, playing, drawing pictures of Daddy Luke and Brother Noah. Until one crisp autumn morning, everything changed. Luke was fixing a customer's car when a sleek black limousine rolled into the dusty yard. A tall woman stepped out, elegant, poised, dressed in a tailored white coat. Her presence alone seemed to silence the world around her. "Mr. Matthews?" she asked, her voice calm but trembling beneath the surface. "Yes," Luke said, wiping his hands. "Can I help you?" She took a shaky breath. "My name is Claire Donovan." The name struck something faintly familiar. He'd heard it on the news before. Claire Donovan, the billionaire CEO of Donovan Enterprises, the kind of person who lived in a world galaxies away from his own. Claire's eyes softened. "I believe, you have my daughter." Luke froze. "Emma." Her lip trembled as she nodded. "Her full name is Emily Donovan. She was kidnapped over a year ago." The room spun. Luke's heart dropped to his stomach. "Kidnapped?" Claire's eyes glistened. "My husband was involved in things he shouldn't have been. When I found out, he took our daughter and ran. The people he worked for wanted to silence us both. I searched everywhere, Mr. Matthews. I thought she was gone forever." Luke felt the ground shift beneath him. He wanted to be happy for Emma, that her mother was alive, that she was wanted, but the thought of letting her go tore through him like glass. "Can I see her?" Claire whispered. Luke hesitated, then nodded. When Emma saw her mother standing in the doorway, she froze. "Mommy." Claire fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. "Oh, my baby." They clung to each other, sobbing. Noah watched silently from the hall, holding Luke's hand. It should have been a beautiful moment, but inside Luke, a storm was brewing. He'd been the one to pick Emma up out of the rain. The one who stayed up when she had nightmares. The one she called Daddy. And now, just like that, she'd be gone. A week later, Claire returned with legal documents. She wanted full custody. "I understand what she means to you," she said gently, "but she's my daughter, Luke. I can't lose her again." Luke stared at the papers. "You think I want to fight you? I need to know she'll be safe. She's been through so much." Claire nodded, her voice breaking. "I'll make sure she never has to be afraid again. You have my word." It should have ended there, but fate wasn't finished with them yet. The next night, Luke received a call. Claire's voice trembled on the other end. "They found him, my husband. He's coming for her." Everything happened fast. Police sirens, flashing lights, the rush of fear. Claire's husband, Robert Donovan, had escaped custody. Desperate, dangerous, and armed. That night, as rain poured again just like the night Luke found her, Robert showed up at Luke's house. He kicked open the door, shouting Emma's name. Luke stepped between him and the kids. "You're not taking her anywhere." Robert sneered. "You think you can stop me? You're just a mechanic." Luke's heart pounded, but he stood his ground. "Maybe, but I'm also her dad." A struggle broke out. Luke was thrown against the wall, but he didn't back down. Just as Robert reached for Emma, police sirens blared outside. Claire burst through the door with officers behind her. Robert was dragged away, screaming. Emma ran into Luke's arms, sobbing. "Daddy Luke, don't let them take me." Luke looked at Claire, torn. She wiped her tears and knelt beside them. "Sweetheart, Daddy Luke saved you. We both love you. We'll keep you safe, together." In the weeks that followed, the dust slowly settled. Robert was sent to prison. The truth about his crimes came out: fraud, trafficking, violence. Claire became a hero for exposing him. But amidst all the headlines, Luke's world felt painfully quiet. The house seemed emptier. Noah missed his little sister. And Luke missed the laughter that once filled their small home. Then one Saturday morning, a knock came at the door. Claire stood there, smiling gently. "We're going for a drive," she said. "Pack a bag." Confused but curious, Luke and Noah climbed into her car. They drove out of town, up into the hills, where a sprawling estate overlooked the valley. At the edge of the property stood a small guest house, beautiful but humble. "It's yours," Claire said softly. "A home for you and Noah. Close enough so Emma can see you every day." Luke blinked, stunned. "Claire, I can't accept this." "Yes, you can," she said. "You gave my daughter a life when I couldn't. You protected her when I failed. You're part of our family now." Tears filled his eyes as Emma came running out of the main house, her laughter ringing through the air. She leapt into his arms. "Daddy Luke, we can see you every day." Noah joined in, and for a moment, the world felt whole again. Months passed, and together they built something extraordinary, two families merged by fate, not blood. Luke continued working, now managing Claire's Charity Foundation garage program, teaching underprivileged teens how to fix cars. Emma flourished, moving between her two homes with joy. Claire often joined them for family dinners, laughing at Luke's burnt pancakes. The past hadn't vanished, but it no longer defined them. One evening, as the sun dipped below the hills, Luke sat on the porch watching the kids chase fireflies. Claire stepped beside him, holding 2 mugs of coffee. "You know," she said softly, "I used to think money could fix anything. But it couldn't find my daughter." "You did." Luke smiled faintly. "Guess we both learned something." She nodded. "Family isn't about where you come from. It's about who shows up when the rain's pouring." He looked out at Emma and Noah laughing together, their faces glowing in the fading light. And for the first time in years, Luke felt peace, not the kind that comes from having everything, but from knowing he'd done something that mattered. He'd found a lost little girl on a stormy night, and in saving her, he'd found himself too. Final message: sometimes, the people who enter our lives by accident are the ones who were meant to be there all along. Family isn't defined by blood, it's built through love, sacrifice, and the courage to care when no one else does.